Like most Americans, mention of Selma, Alabama reminds me of one thing only: the civil rights struggle. And so when I met recently with members of Selma's tiny Jewish community, I wondered whether they were as proud as I was taught to be of the role Northern Jews had played in defending the rights of the black community.
They should have stayed home. They didn't do anything but cause trouble. We had a rabbi that was here that threw eggs at the mayor's house. He got arrested, and of course, who should he call but the Jewish people to come get him out.
Judge Edgar Russell called me one night and says, "We've got Rabbi Gibian in jail. What should we do with him?" I said, "Let him out in the morning." That's what they did.
And the yeshiva group that came down from New York.
Yeah.
And they walked by our store every day. And I finally got up and said, "Look, take me to your leader." He said, "Okay, there he is." I said, "Now look, you've been giving me business every day. You walk by my store. Go across the street and give my competitors your business." Yeah, they did. Never spent a dime.
Turns out that while most American Jews were shepping nachas over the members of their community thumbing their noses at the white establishment, Selma's Jews had more immediate concerns to worry about.
The black community was boycotting all merchants, Jewish and otherwise. The only customers that they had left were the white community, and they couldn't openly support the black movement without alienating the few customers they had left.
I had a black woman who was the best sales lady I had in the store. And I went to her and said, "Annie Pearl, you're too good a sales lady, and I'm going to put you on the floor when she would work." And she said, "Mr. Cohn, I'm scared to death. I don't know what will happen to me." And I said, "Annie Pearl, you're going to go on the floor." And she did.
We were unconsciously afraid that if we made a lot of noise and tried to help what's going on, that there would be a lot of anti-Semitism.
I really was afraid that some of the whites would have come in and said, "You Jews so-and-so, you got no business putting that black on the floor." Never got him.
Never.
We stood on the street and watched them, and Reeves, I'll never forget this, Reeves was playing a music, "Bye Bye Blackbird," and they walked across the street.
Looking back on it now, I know it was the right thing to do. Then it was just, it'd been status quo for so long, and we thought everybody was happy the way things were, so why mix it up?
There were a good many Jewish people, young people who came with the marches, and a few of them came to Temple. And there were at least a couple of families in town, Jewish families in town, who invited some of those folks to come for dinner. And I do remember that Rabbi Lubash was frightened by, that it was going to get the Jewish community in trouble.
We just sort of stood back and we watched it happen. We didn't help, we didn't hurt. And I think we've all come a long way. And I think some of what you're hearing today, it makes us all sound like we're still back in the 60s, and we're not. We've all come a long way.
Selma's Jews have also come a long way in another, less positive respect. Years ago, the community was thriving, with a dominant retail presence downtown. But today, its membership totals less than a dozen, and the community is struggling to raise funds to turn their historic synagogue on Broad Street into a museum.
You remind all these Yankees, the last time they came through here, they burned and looted the town.
That's right.
So now they need to build it back up, especially the temple.
From Selma, Alabama, this is Ben Harris reporting.